You know, I think it's time. I think it's time we focus on audio again. Vlog from a phone camera. We've been talking about all these amazing photography and video improvements coming to our phones, but I just wanted to highlight some of the differences that we still find in things like capturing audio. If you wanted to use a phone as some kind of walk and talk vlog or creator-based platform, it really matters if the audio coming off of that platform gets wrecked before you can edit it. For capturing my voice out in nature. And by nature, I mean capturing my voice by the 101 freeway in Southern California. But once we send that audio to the phone, what does the phone do to process it? And it's one of my biggest pet peeves when a phone has really heavy-handed noise reduction algorithms to process the audio. Our phone cameras have gotten so good, this kind of stuff is readily accessible. And this also helps us expand on things like making fun little videos for our family and friends. If there's like a school event, you want to get a really good capture on it. If you'll pardon, because I used to be the big ol' LG nerd, we had a couple companies that were trying to get this right. LG used to give us these expanded audio controls in the LG camera app, and I kept waiting for any of these other photography-focused brands to also give us similar capabilities. I'm really happy that many of our phones now will properly recognize when another audio source is attached, especially in Android land where we've had a lot of problems with USB audio, and we're finally catching up to what the iPhone can do naturally. But even when I get like a little meter just to see what my levels are looking like, the most I'll ever really seem to get is the ability to control inputs and then the ability to control gain. But this does not help me clean up audio that's been processed by noise reduction algorithms. What we want is the ability to switch this on and off. Just like we can capture a raw photo, we also want to be able to capture a more naturalistic sound or some raw audio. Just wanted to get a little of that ambiance. It's a field. It's a really still day. We're not getting a lot of wind, so that shouldn't be hitting the mic too bad. And now that I'm talking, let's see if this phone is going to start kind of ratcheting down on the ambient or the nature sound coming from the microphone and going to the phone. Similar test with the Xiaomi 13 Ultra. Again, I think I've got the audio set up here. The recent changes in the Xiaomi camera app don't actually tell me if I've connected an external microphone, but we should hear if my voice is changing up this nature field sound and then if it's starting to degrade the environmental audio quality around me. All right, a little bit more of an extreme test, but I don't want to be yelling. I just want you to be able to hear me over all of this freeway noise, which is one of the reasons why I like this new breed of prosumer wireless clip-on microphone. The proximity is really, really close to me, and even at arm's length, my phone microphones are actually a little bit further away. Out here in this wide open field, we're getting a little bit more breeze, so having the ability to kind of like throw on a little bit of a little muff so that wind isn't impacting the microphone, something we can't do on our phones, and it just kind of separates us a little bit more from the camera perspective audio for something that's a little bit more subject perspective audio. But even in a situation like this, I still want to get a sense of the environment. I just want to be louder than the environment. That audio gives us context. It helps us sort of establish where this is taking place. All right, and switching phones again, just the differences in audio processing and audio capture just kind of gives us a sense of how these companies are making different decisions. We can say, oh, well, we really want to focus on just the human voice, so we're going to sacrifice everything else. But I think that actually does damage. I think that does a disservice to a lot of the video that we might want to shoot mobile. We might want to shoot from a phone. I'm not trying to say it's easy. It is very difficult to get all of those noise reduction algorithms playing nice and really working together to make sure that you can highlight a human voice without a lot of degradation. That's actually one of the things that I think AI is going to be very useful at, is not just scalpeling out all of the noise, but as noise interacts with my voice, is finding those frequencies to kind of fill that information back in, even if it's not completely 100% authentic. It helps give us It helps give us a better sense of what's going on in the video we shoot. And I think we get it. We know what these companies are trying to do. I think they'd get a lot of complaints if, like I was out there near a freeway, if there was a lot of noise around you and someone was recording a video and they couldn't hear themselves, we'd want that automatic capability to process that audio, clean it all up, and make sure that the human voice was the main focus of that video clip. I also think we should be considering who is buying these kinds of phones, these premium and ultra tier. Some of the most expensive devices out on the market today, often that price is associated with their photography and video capabilities. Someone might want to pick one of these up and then also go digging into their manual modes to see what they can do with them. And for that kind of an individual, I think there should be a switch. I think there should be a toggle, some way to turn off the more aggressive noise handling, noise processing that goes through our cameras. You want to leave it on the auto mode, I think that's great. Someone point and shoot camera, they want that video, they want to know that the human voice is going to be the focus, awesome. But then for someone else who might want to attach other mics or have other audio capabilities, they should have the ability to turn off, to disable all of this additional processing. The camera sensors in our phones have utterly decimated the point and shoot camera market. Now the main cameras, the sensor that I'm shooting this walk and talk from, are starting to nip at the heels of micro four thirds mirrorless cameras. I take these out for my B-roll way more frequently than I take my mirrorless cameras. So I'm just saying, I think it's time. I think we're due. I think if we can elevate the audio on these mobile platforms and join all of the phones that do this stuff really well, like a Google Pixel does this really well, the iPhone does this really well, the Vivo does this better than the Xiaomi does, and we can get that information out to mobile content creators, they'll be able to make better purchasing decisions for the content and the projects that they want to shoot. And thank you for coming to my Tech Talk. As always, thanks so much for watching, for sharing these videos, subscribing to the channel. All the support lately has been amazing. If you're joining this list of names scrolling by on your screen from my Patreon, it's patreon.com/SomeGadgetGuy. And you know where you can find me around the rest of the internet at SomeGadgetGuy, basically everywhere. But these days, I'm trying to spend a bit more time on the Mastodons, a little less so on the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and definitely not on the Twitters. And I will catch you all on the next video.